Alright guys, welcome back to another trade recap. In this video, I want to go over 3 things that we successfully did to capture a nice piece of this market correction. Or is it the beginning of a crash? Who knows? So, 3 things that we successfully did to position ourselves before the uh, before the breakdown on Friday and the overnight gap uh, in the SPY over the weekend. So, number one is recognizing the sentiment towards the overall market during the month of September. Number two is the market structure, the setup for the short term, the midterm, and obviously the long term. And third, execution of the trade, which is very important. Without execution, a thesis is nothing more than just a thesis slash idea. So as usual, I like to do an analysis of the chart itself using the daily chart, kind of see what's going on and why we took the short position on Friday, early on Friday, and caught the spill from 445 to about 441 and held that position through the weekend and exited our full position on Monday morning. That allowed us to net roughly $2,400 in a matter of 72 hours. Well, a little bit more, but over the weekend. So uh, we all know that SPY has been trending up with every single dip being bought aggressively. Most people were expecting sort of the same thing, but uh, given that the market is, given that we're in the month of September, uh, a lot of people were expecting something different just because the market doesn't perform very well during the month of September. That, along with uh, a few articles that had been released about, you know, top level executives selling some of their shares and some of their positions early this month to avoid, some sort of issues, which I don't know all of the details, but the articles basically just give off this negative outlook towards investors and active traders. So let's take a look at the headline of this article, and it goes as Fed Presidents Kaplan Rosengren to sell individual stock holdings to address ethics concerns. So this was released on September 9th, so about a week, 2 weeks ago. And this is kind of where people became a little bit worried that maybe the market was going to be getting ready to top, at least for the short term. So that was released on September 9th. And then at the beginning of last week, we got this thread on Reddit. Um, Basically, some individual out on the web had done some extensive research where he basically discovered and broke down that Credit Suisse was taking a short position. And this was 8 days ago. So the beginning of last week. So we did this. We read these articles, these threads, and sort of was looking at the chart, seeing how it was setting up, and by Friday, things weren't looking so pretty heading into the weekend. So we took a position. 444 puts expiring October 1st. We took 2 of those, and we took the 442 puts for a total investment of, let's take a look, total investment of $1,500. And you can see here that we bought the 442 put, the 444 put, and another 444 put, right? So initial investment was $1,500. So before we get into the profits, we will take a look at the chart and how the chart was setting up, that basically was confirming that shorts were going to take control, at least for the short term. So, looking at it from a bigger picture, you pretty much see right here that you get a head and shoulders. Well, it was starting to form, right? I mean, we didn't know that this was going to happen over the weekend, but it was definitely setting up to the downside. So, one, recognizing how the chart was setting up, understanding the sentiment, and then executing, taking a position behind the trade idea, and then, assuming all risk, but controlling it at the same time. So for the most part, everything was aligned. There's a lot of short confirmations. We recognized it and we backed it up with the position. So this was a swing. Fortunately for us, we entered those SPY puts um, early on Friday, and then added one at the end of the day. And, we've got that really, really nice gap down over the weekend after, news came out in China with some other stuff going on over there. So, this was able to play out really, really nice, allowing us to capture pretty much a move from 444 uh, all the way into the 430s, really. So, let's take a look at our exits on it. So we exited the 442 put right here at 949. The 442 put at 949. Sorry, 444 put at 1106, and another one at 1423. So we pretty much scaled out, as SPY was breaking down today. We didn't expect for SPY to recover just because that gap down was so strong that it was practically not likely for it to move up. So we were ready for a slow breakdown, and so we ended up scaling out. We exited our SPY puts at 7:36 a.m. So somewhere around here. We exited another one at 8:20. So somewhere right here, and then finally we exited our last one at 10:15, which was somewhere right there. So, we scaled out and we were able to do it very, very nicely. So let's take a look at the profits. What did this trade net us as far as investment? So initial investment was roughly $1,500. After selling, we collected 34.78, which puts us about $2,000 in profit, 1965. So along with that, I also bought AMD puts. I bought 3 of them on Friday right before the close, just because AMD was setting up in a bear flag, and because I felt like the market was weak and that we would potentially gap down over the weekend. It was also a good setup for a second leg down. So we bought the 100 strike puts expiring October 8th, 3 of them at 190 for a total investment of 570, and we sold those for 1,023 for a profit of 453. So we'll take a look at this AMD chart. Now AMD doesn't really have a large ATR, so I wasn't expecting crazy gains from it, but we the sentiment was short, so this was a good setup to sort of add to a short position as compared to some of the other stocks. So pretty much it was in a range right here. Let me remove that. So this little range right here. So essentially, you have your leg down, and then here's sort of price trying to discover if it wants to move up or down. So you can see on Friday had a red day, so that was sort of the icing on the cake for puts, and you can see right here that the ATR on AMD is very, very low. So we exited scaled out, nothing crazy, but it did add to our final total, which was $2,418. So roughly $2,400 in this trade. Nothing crazy as far as position, as far as the position goes, but definitely a successful trade. Recognizing this sentiment, recognizing the market structure, identifying the bearish chart patterns, let me see, by identifying the this sort of this head and shoulders, and just getting ready for a second leg down. So did that very well. If you guys found any of this information beneficial, leave a comment. Give this video a thumbs up. We are catching these moves and placing ourselves in a position to capture them before they even happen. I'm sorry. Simply because we're recognizing the price action as it's happening. This is real time, and this is how we're able to catch large moves, and how we don't have to take such large positions um, that may drive us away from our, you know, our trading, um, how we typically trade, uh, to capture nice profits. So leave a thumbs up or something, maybe a comment, and we'll catch you guys in the next video.